Everyone is welcome here, it's time to make new friends. Aquavide Uskava, fill your Glencairn. Share a dram with the spirit of Edmonton. Slancha!
Slancha. That was funny. Sorry. Good evening, whiskey brothers, sisters, and friends, and welcome to episode 104 of the Canadian Whisky Journey's Whiskey Review. I'm Dolph. I am the creator of the Canadian Whisky Journey. I am the spirit of Edmonton on social media platforms, and I'm your host tonight. How y'all doing? I've been on a bit of a rye exploratory focus over the last 8 episodes, and it's probably going to continue quite a bit in the future episodes. But tonight we're focusing on this one right here. So this is Park Distillery's Banff Whiskey 100% Rye. Love my rye. Now, many of you might have visited the Park Distillery right there in the heart of the town, but that is not where this bottle was made. No, for that, you would have to go to their distilling, aging, blending warehouse in Exshaw. Now, it was bought in 2019, 2020, and producing pretty soon after that when Scott took over the reins as the master distiller at Park. And, yeah, they needed to go there because of, and if you've been to the distillery on Banff, you know this, they're really close quarters, the limited workspace that they had, so they needed to move out. Now, Scott himself, Scott Coburn, came to them from High West Distillery right out of Utah, and he's been prepping me for this whiskey for quite a while. So if we're in Exshaw or we're in Banff Ave, you look up and you see the majesty of the wilderness of the park, and you can't be happier, except if you're drinking this whiskey. Now, this 750 ml, 45% beauty, hefty bottle, like hefty. You could beat off a grizzly bear with this thing. I don't know. Throw this stuff in his head, beat him with this, throw this at him. This is a weapon, and it feels massive in my hands. It makes you feel good just to buy that. Now, it's 100% Alberta rye, blended from 3 different whiskeys. Now, the first, the 7-year-old rye, half cask. Say it again. It's a half cask. And the 6-year-old full cask rye whiskey barrels were both in first fill American white oak. And Scott says these really come off on the back end more than the front. What comes off very well in the front, right at the beginning, is the 5-year-old whiskey that they sourced from a distillery in southern Alberta that we won't speak their name of. But I'm guessing that he has quite a bit more of the 5-year-old as opposed to the 6 and 7-year-old first fill, just to make this a reasonable price. And it's well worth the price. I'll tell you what it is in a second. I didn't tell you that the 5-year-old is in ex-bourbon barrels. So you get some of the hints from that. So the first fill and the ex-bourbon coming into play with this guy. Now, it's available throughout Alberta. I bought it for $60 on sale because I generally buy my whiskeys on sale if I can. You can get this anywhere else for $65 throughout Alberta. And right there from the distillery online, $65. Well worth it. Now, tasting notes. Been waiting for it. So I've got a pretty good pour. I've got a Montreal, Canada. I've got the May the 4th and 5th and 6th something be with you. But we're here for the whiskey, aren't we? All right. So a unique nose. It was subtle. Very first hint is the new wood. So the wood comes off on the nose immediately. But then your nose gets acclimated to it, and then you can start smelling the other things. Which for me, it's always the sweetness first. And it's what I've been thinking the whole time when I tried this last night, made my notes, but as you know, I change my notes and my opinions as these continue, but not for this. So it's a fruity confectioner's sugar. That's the sweetness that comes out. Now the fruity is botanical-like. And this sounds weird, but it noses like a blueberry tastes. Now, there's no real scent to a blueberry, even when you mush it up so much, or in ice cream or something else. There's no real scent to it, but there's a flavor. And the scent is reminiscent of the flavor of a blueberry, if we can get that. So, yeah. So wood, confection, sugar, sweetness, the fruitiness with the confectioner's sugar, almost like rockets. I've talked about those before. Yeah, it's good nose. It's light, makes you work for it. Okay. On the palate. That was just to wake things up. Let's do that again. It's got a good mouthfeel, and it's really neat because you can hold the liquid in the palate, swish it around to every corner without feeling any burn whatsoever. So it's a little bit unique in that way for a rye. You don't usually get that for a rye. Into the flavors. Yeah, the fruity confectioner sugar comes out right away. Maybe a hint of vanilla. Maybe. And that just might be in my head thinking about the ex-bourbon barrels that it was in previously, but maybe a hint of vanilla, which goes well with blueberry. Nose blueberry, hint of vanilla. Then the spiciness kicks in, and it's fresh ginger. Yeah, that's it. Fresh ginger. It comes out, and it's not like the sweetness ends and then the ginger takes over, or the spiciness takes over, which is often the case with ryes, I find, that there's distinct moments. In here, the sweetness mingles with that fresh ginger. And maybe a hint of nutmeg on the end of it, but that ginger is prevalent. Not a hot white pepper at all. And the finish, let's give it a medium length of finish. Fruity sweetness right away. Turns fairly quickly after a couple seconds to the ginger spice. Fresh ginger spice. Yeah, and that lasts several seconds until you get to the wood at the end. Now, I like the progression of this because the nose, the wood's the first thing that you get. And on the palate, it's the last thing. It's what you're left with at the very end. It's a good dram. Enjoyed it. Well, you can tell because I started last night and I've had some of that. I've given some to my wife, and well, she's got a dram as well upstairs. We're going to enjoy this. I'm going to watch the end of the Montreal Canadiens hockey game, and hopefully it ends well for us. Go Canada, go hockey, go rye. And I will see you again next week. Thank you all, and have a wonderful, wonderful night. Cheers, everybody.